Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Modified Mondays, the show where we give you an inside look at an iRacing season. Well, it's Super Bowl Sunday again, and yet again, the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. Sorry, haters. So 3 Super Bowls ago, when the Patriots were playing the Falcons, my daughter was born. Super Bowl with the Patriots is a whole new meaning. She hasn't seen the Patriots not hit a Super Bowl since she's been born, which is pretty crazy. She's our little lucky charm, I guess. She's already seen them in 3 Super Bowls, and hopefully we'll see in the 4th coming up. So we're squeezing in this video before we have the family come over and cook up some chicken wings and watch the game, so go Pats. This week we had racing down at Southern National Motorsports Park down in North Carolina. I found that the track is a lot like Lanier. It's got some good banked corners so you can really drive into them. And the track is pretty wide, so we won't have the same issues like we had at South Boston. We started tuning on our Tuning Tuesday show over on Facebook. We do our live stream over there. We were running 14.7s with the stock iRacing setup. And then my dad and Adam came on, and we were able to get the car down to a 13.75, which is pretty good. About a second off the stock setup, and then did a little more testing after the show was over. Threw a bunch of stagger in. I think I put about 4 inches of stagger in the rear tires and was able to get it down to a 13.68. I tried playing around with different gear ratios to see if that would change anything, but a 505 was definitely the best that I had. One thing that's been coming up a lot on the forums is whether or not the SK Modifieds should be switched to a fixed setup. I personally am against it. I think one of the big factors with these cars is that they're pretty easy to tune, and it's a good opportunity to learn how to tune. That's one of the things that I like about the game right now. If you're running a stock setup, I find that they're extremely tight. I would not be able to drive these. The people that are, at the top of the track are going to be able to make really good times, but overall I'd be really tight, and I'd probably be crashing into people a lot more than if I'm able to get a car that I can drive by tuning it. If you want to do a fixed setup version of the league, go for it, but I would definitely keep the non-fixed version around. So with that said, let's get into some racing at Southern National Motorsports Park. Alright guys, welcome to another week of SK Modified Racing. This week we're at Southern National Motorsports Park down in North Carolina. Qualifying results for today's race are pole position going towards Richard Oakley, followed by Robert Taylor, Darrell Clark, Francis Dygalt, Andrew Lunt, Paul Beaumont, myself in 7th place, James Gerald in 8th, Jeffrey Taylor in 9th, 10th is Dale Seibler, 11th goes to Matthew Rodriguez, 12th goes to Aaron Kistler, 13th is Blake Smith, and coming in 4th is R.D. Vaughn. Alright guys, so here we are for week 8 of the SK Modified season, running in the yellow number 5. Starting in 7th place. And we're green. Coming on into the first turn of the race. Oh, and Andrew gets into Francis. We get in the back of Andrew. Luckily, the only thing that happened is we hit our bumper. That opened the door for Jeffrey, though. He uses the opportunity to get around us. Fortunately, Francis really got the worst of the brunt of that whole thing. Andrew came away pretty unscathed, except for some rear damage and probably some front right suspension issue. And here we're trying to get around Jeffrey, get that spot back that we lost. Gain something, lose some. Could have been a lot worse, though. Things are getting really tight here. Gonna try and take him on the outside. But here we are on board with Francis. He's coming back after his unfortunate little incident with Andrew. Got a really fast car. Riding on the inside. And seems to get by us pretty fine. And while that's going on, we had a little incident with Aaron. Fortunately, number 7 just gets a little spun out there. And number 11 ends up hitting the wall, comes down and collects the number 9. Word of advice to everyone racing: if you get in an accident, hold that brake down and don't deviate course. It makes it a lot easier for other drivers to get around you if you slam those brakes on after a contact like that. And here we are watching our top 3 drivers riding along with Daryl Clark here. In front of him is the number 1 of Robert Taylor and the number 4 of Richard Oakley. Guys are riding really tight the whole race. Daryl Clark moving up into 2nd place, trying to hunt down Robert Taylor. Robert gets into the wall a little bit. Just a little. But that opens up the door for Daryl Clark to get around. As well as Richard Oakley. Here we are working our way through some lap traffic, and James rightfully concedes the corner. Lets us by nice and easy. No issues there. And here we are on board with Blake Smith. Blake hits the wall. Oh, and unfortunately just loses it a little bit. Probably got a little too tight. But if you look, he slams on those brakes and stops the car. Great way to handle a wreck. And here we are back on board with Daryl Clark. He's moving up on some lap traffic, holding on to that 1st place. Jump on board with Robert Taylor. Falling behind the 2 of those guys. Really tight racing here as they try to work their way through some really slow lap traffic. Hopefully they have no incidents. And here we are on board with R.D. Vaughn. About 2 cars behind us right now. My car is really slowing down. Been hard to get back in rhythm after all the leaders get by me. Artie's car stepping out a little bit as he gets the power down. Here he is trying to make the pass on us. Trying to hold that bottom line as best I can. Get around the number 7. But he is really pressing the issue, getting really close. Oh, a little contact there with the 7. That makes the tight car even tighter. Really unbalances the car when you get low. Oh, and unfortunately he goes low and that hits my tire! That will push me down to 7th. Luckily the cars behind us are lapped cars, so I didn't really lose too much. 1 space. And R.D. Vaughn did apologize immediately after that. He knew he was in the wrong. You know, sometimes you just get the car unbalanced and there's really nothing you can do about it. No harm, no foul. Take a look again at Robert Taylor and the leaders trying to move past Jeffrey Taylor. Don't know if Robert and Jeffrey are related or not. If he is, he's moving past his relative right now. Say all the lap traffic did a pretty good job of letting these guys race around them. They didn't hold them up too much. All right, guys, final lap. Here is Darrell Clark in the lead, followed by Richard Oakley coming into turns 3 and 4. Richard Oakley really pushing the issue. Is he going to have what it takes to get around? No. Darrell Clark will be your winner for week 8, followed by Richard Oakley and Robert Taylor. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for week 8. I don't know what to say. We started off in 7th place, just could not get the car in those 13.4s, 13.5s like the top guys were running. They're still about 0.3 off, so I knew some place in the middle was going to be about where we ended up. We had gotten ourselves up into 7th place, had a little bit of contact there near the end of the race, so unfortunately we dropped 1, but overall we didn't get disqualified this week. We kind of ran what the car could do, and we'll just have to practice later on and for next week. So I think what I'm going to have to do next week is run 20 laps and see how the car responds with a certain tune after 20 laps. It might be better for me with my driving style to have a very loose car at the beginning of the race, and then once the tires have warmed up and we're in our rhythm, hopefully the car will tighten up and get to where I need it to be for the rest of the race. Because right now it sucks to have a really fast car for the first few laps, but then just slowly feel the car tighten up and start moving to the back of the field. So we need to start moving forward, not backwards. All right, guys, let's take a look at the Division 6 standings for Week 8. Robert Tibbs has scooted past Joshua Hawks to claim first place. Joshua Hawks will fall to second place, but just 5 points behind Robert. This is going to be a really close battle that'll be interesting to watch for the final third of the season. Third place goes to Michael Herrera, and we will maintain our 4th place position. Ronald Narcom holds his 5th place position with 270 points. Joshua Cardin leaps into the top 10, securing a 6th place spot this week. Ashton Anderson drops 1 place to 7th. Robert Poole will advance into 8th place. Randall Clark will drop all the way from 7th place to 9th, and Christopher Rossiter will replace Lee Embrick in the 10th spot. All right, guys, that's going to do it for another Modified Monday. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone that comes by. We are going to be putting out videos every Monday, so click that subscribe button and be notified as soon as the newest video comes out. As always, we'll be doing Tuning Tuesdays at 7:30 on our Facebook page. You can click the link below. And if you like the content, be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know that you liked it. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down, but let me know in the comments. And also in the comments, let me know who your favorite football team is. I'm going to be rooting for the Pats, and I got to go eat some chicken wings. So until next time, guys, peace!